How to deal with the Head of Mischief and the Hydra clan boss. Excited to talk about it? Let's get right into it. What up, team? It is MurderInc here, and we are talking about one of the most annoying heads in all of Hydra. If you're unsure which one I'm talking about, that's going to be, let's go to boss guides really quickly. Head of Mischief. Okay, so if you don't have a hex, you can't target it, but the really annoying part is it's going to steal buffs from your team, spread it to your opposing team, which can be an absolute nightmare for pretty much every single player. You can get resisted, and it's just a mess. So I figured out a way that hopefully will help all of you guys deal with this head, because it's going to be a revolving thing across all of the difficulties. So what did I do? I'm going to be using Krisk here. And I know comments, great, now all I need is a Krisk. You don't need a Krisk. I'm using him as an example here because he's pretty good for the job, but you can use anybody with a few exceptions. I'm going to explain why. And I mean, there are so many epics, legendaries you can use to fill this role. Ideally, you want a defense or HP based champion here. Now let me fill out this team really quick. We'll use Annie. Get rid of Michaud. We don't really need Michaud here. Let's just throw in Martyr. And finally, let's go ahead and sum it all up with Underpriest Brogni. Is he geared? Check. He is geared. Okay. So this is the team we're going to use here today. Do I even want to use Ray? No, I don't want to use Ray. Let's go ahead, throw in Lydia for that defense down, weaken, strengthen. She is a +3. Okay, perfect. So this is the team we're going to be using today. Let's hop right in, shall we? Okay, so first thing I want you guys to notice is going to be the amount of buffs on everybody. This is going to be really important going forward here. Alright, so we're going to apply defense down and weaken right now. We're going to trigger the Head of Torment. We're going to start counterattacking like no tomorrow. I like Krisk because his counterattack applies that decreased speed. Not on everybody, that would have been nice, but we do have decreased speed coming out here. Little Miss Annie doing insane single target damage. We can talk about that later or right now if we want to, since we are kind of waiting here for the Head of Mischief to pop up now. So if you have Lydia, one thing you can do is gamble here. I don't have Hex. I don't plan on using Hex for any of this because I know a lot of players aren't going to be using Hex. I don't personally think it's going to be required in the higher difficulties. I could be wrong. I'm not on Nightmare yet. Okay, so I applied block buff. Now, this was rare. This was a 25% chance of happening. Usually you get redirected and it's just a mess here. So we're going to keep going through here. We're going to pretend that block buff isn't on the boss, and we're going to watch what happens next. So we have all the turns. We have decreased speed, finally landing there. If I can even speak English today. Now I don't want to kill the Head of Torment, so I'm going to use Little Miss Annie to put some damage into. Let's just pick the left head here. We got that going on. Now I'm going to add a counterattack. You know what? Yeah, let's put it in a counterattack on these champions now. Let's go ahead and use this triple hit here. Whittle down that champion. Okay, so as we can see, we targeted Krisk here. Why did it target Krisk? Because I'm wearing a shield set, and for some reason, even though it doesn't display it, the game is understanding that shield set on top of Krisk passive is stacking separately. Oh no, actually we can see it here, I believe. Or does everyone have this? Am I crazy? No, everyone does have this. Okay, so shield set, Krisk passive. One thing you can do instead, listen to this. You can use a immunity set. You can use a champion that provides an extra buff to make sure this champion's targeted. I'm not sure, to be honest with you, why it always targets Krisk in this scenario. It's happened in every single run thus far. So that is that. And I do understand that when I say shield set, it applies to everyone, giving them the same amount of buffs. One thing about Krisk is I have him built with insanely low speed. Didn't really want to click on this, but it is what it is. Okay, now we're going to use this, proc the Torment Head once more, get some counterattacks. This is the basic principle here. The reason why he's so slow is you're going to see this very quickly. Krisk is going to keep the most buffs on the team because he's not speeding through them. Okay, the first head is down now. Hopefully we get that defense down and weakened to put up some real damage. All buffs removed, so another reason why we want that. We have no defense down, we're still doing decent damage thus far. Here's that perfect opportunity to apply defense down. Unlucky resist there. Now I'm going to extend. Should I extend to? No, I'm going to wait one turn. This is the kicker here. You wait one turn. Apply attack down. Perfect. Get some damage from Inquisitor Shamael, the MVP, mind you, of this team. Let's go ahead A1 here. So now all of these champions are burning through their buffs. Once again, we have no block buffs on this champion for Head of Mischief, and we stack resist, basically no speed. You can even run base speed on a champion. That's how good this is. You do want to make sure if you're doing the base speed thing, it's most optimal with Inquisitor Shamael. I do understand not everyone has it. We have a 2x event. Hopefully people are excited about pulling it if they can get lucky enough. There are a few other really strong champions as well, but we can get into that in the future when the rest of the strategies are fine-tuned even more. Let's try to place this defense down here. Perfect. Okay, we're going to apply more buffs. And now you're going to see when Chris gets his turn, what am I going to do? Now, if you don't have Chris, once again, this doesn't really matter too much. I'm going to be extending my buffs, which is why Chris is so strong in this role. Now, look at the amount of buffs he has compared to everyone else, guaranteeing that this head is always going to target it. And you might be thinking to yourself, Murder, what happens? Serious question. What happens if you get 3%? So you're going to go to pause, you're going to go to free regroup, and you're going to kill it. Free regroup, retry, hopefully it doesn't happen again. If you don't want to do that, what you can do is you can get rid of Martyr. She's kind of the odd piece here, not really making too much sense for anything. 204, so 300,000 damage there. That was really strong. So she doesn't really do anything in this team. Yes, she does apply attack down. Chris can kind of handle that because I do have enough accuracy on him for this difficulty. Padma. I can't stress this enough. I'm sure many players, or quite a few players, have already figured out how strong Padma is. If she crits on her A1, attack down on everybody. Attack down is so important for this Head of Wrath right here. I can't stress how much harder this guy's going to hit as we keep ramping up the difficulty. I'm currently on normal hard, and I should be on brutal in a few hours when I do kill that. So let's go ahead defense down here. But I can't stress enough how good Padma is. What you're going to do is you're going to turn Padma's A3 off, give her accuracy, and she's going to be applying attack down over and over again. She has decreased accuracy as well to make this comp even better. So decreased accuracy is not 100% chance. You can use Lady Kimi as well for increased accuracy, decreased accuracy, all the good stuff she provides. But the main thing I want to talk about here is going to be Padma, because if you do get 3% resisted, what can you do? Use Padma's A3, turn it off of auto, and this is going to be a full auto run, by the way. You can just click auto, click on whatever head you want to hit like this, and game, set, match. You're going to be doing, I mean, look at this, 7 million damage. We're just getting started here, right? We're just getting started with this run. This is on, like I said, the hard difficulty. This can go up to 30 million damage. It really depends on the RNG of the heads here. If you get Head of Torment over and over again, you're going to do stupid damage, but that's a topic for a separate time. This is for players who want to take advantage of this strategy now. Highly recommend it. It's a very strong way to deal with the mechanic here. One thing to note, this increased attack here may seem harmless to some people. It's not. You need to get this off instantly. I wouldn't use Padma's ability for this unless you're confident that you're going to be able to not get 3%. So this is where Underpriest Brogni comes in. This is why I use him. On top of being an awesome healer, you can't strip his shield. I use this ability here, take away increased attack, take away that reflex damage. This comp's looking really strong already. So what do I want to do next? I could decay this head. I want to hit this guy here. I want to proc his 15 stats. Once again, targets Chris, gets resisted. It's like Head of Mischief doesn't even exist here. So now what we have here, and this is why I really wanted to bring Padma into this team. I should have remembered to do it. I brought Martyr instead. Another great thing about Padma, Head of Mischief's turn meter right now, very, very low. We don't have to worry about him just yet. Padma's in a relentless gear, on top of things, making her much stronger, cycling through the cooldowns for situations like this. So as we can see, block debuff we don't really care about, but we have this reflect damage buff, and I can one-shot myself if I'm not careful by hitting this with someone like a Little Miss Annie who does incredible damage here. So what am I going to do? I'm going to kind of poke this guy down, get as much damage as I can. From champions, I'm not worried about dying. So defense-based champions, HP-based champions, things of that sort. I really wouldn't hit it with an attack-based champion with a reflect buff unless you have a solid shield, preferably from someone like Brogni. That would make the most sense to me. So I'm going to kind of show you why this is going to be a risk here using this A3 against this head, but let's just go for it. Okay, so I almost killed myself, and maybe I still will, who knows? It's getting a little bit close here. If he gets a turn, Inquisitor Shamael's dead. So this is why you never want to do what I just did. Now he's gonna, is this the head of, okay, head of suffering, not terrible. So this is why you never want to, you have to be really careful with these buffs. It's unfortunate they didn't make it as friendly as they could have, as far as thankfully, Brogni to the rescue. I shouldn't die here. It's possible I do. So we're only going to take, okay, be weak hit, so that didn't even matter there. Let's put some damage here. So hopefully we're good to survive here. Let's go ahead, ally protect. Okay, not even worried about it. Easy game. Easy game. But this is besides the point. Now I'm kind of ranting past the point of the intention of this video. Do yourself a favor. If you're struggling with this boss, see who you have in your roster. I know a lot of people are going to say, does this champion work? Does that champion work? The answer is everyone's account's going to be different. I cannot tell you what's going to work, what's not going to work specifically. All you have to know is you need a champion with high resist. And I can show you, of course, I'm going to show you his gear. You know what? Let's just back out now. But once again, as we can see here, team is in no, I guess, danger per se of dying right now. I do have relentless, first of all, relentless gear and reflex gear, really strong on this boss to just do like random team compositions. But this is the only time where you could say, oh, it's a little bit sketchy, constantly getting redirected from this boss here. That's where AoE champions come in handy. Krisk is the AoE here. Yes, we did get taken by Martyr. So eventually, this guy's health is going to tick down. We have HP burn on the boss. We did get lucky. Let's keep targeting. Okay, here's a double hit here. The good news is this boss is very low health as it is. So that's going to be the good and easy news. Once again, perfect example. We broke him out. Counterattack, Krisk, resistance, all that good stuff. So this is a really easy one key for the champions I have, of course, because they're very overgeared for this content. But let me show you Krisk, how he's built here. And I guess I can kind of show you, do I have a team set up for this? Let me see. I do. Okay, so let's just go to this really quick. In case you're curious about Little Miss Annie +4, crazy attack, speed doesn't matter, crit rate, crit damage, Lydia, fast, resistance, accuracy, whatever. The reason why I'm building resist on this team is because it's for Nightmare. Don't look at this and say, oh my god, this is insane, this is what I need. You don't need any of this. This is simply planning for the higher difficulties for me. I don't want to keep re-gearing over and over again, so that's why I'm doing this. Once again, Inquisitor Shamael. When I first started testing this, there was a chance it would go on to Inquisitor Shamael for some reason. I'm not really sure why it was picking him for that buff steal, but now it's always on Krisk here. 435 resistance, way too much. If you're curious on what resistances you do need, you can go on, head over to my Discord, my lovely Discord. Go to the Hydra section here, look at KXN's 0 damage build because he's trolling, and then scroll up to the top where, as we can see, the lovely Ron, admin of my server, posted this sheet by Bobo. Bobo, great guy, always data mining, filling out crazy sheets like this. This shows you the defense, speed, resistance, accuracy that all of the heads have per difficulty in Season 1. From there, you can plan the resistance you need on your champions, and I guarantee you, you'll never have to worry about the Head of Mischief again, besides if you get consumed by the Head of Mischief and all of that stuff, and it's a pain for you. You just have to use AoE like I was explaining before, or HP burn is a pretty good solution there to do damage without directly hitting the champion. Or if you're lucky enough to use Hex, go ahead, use the Hex strategy. Easy money there, but I've seen so many players struggling with this, so I wanted to show you guys how I was dealing with it and making it so easy. If you're planning on trying this out, smash that like button, let me know. What champions do you plan on using with this? Have you already been doing this? Vergus is a champion that I think would work out pretty well in this role. On top of that, like I said, any champion that self-buffs itself. One thing to note, once again, Krisk's speed, 125. Really slow, guaranteeing he always has these buffs. It does help that this champion has ally protection and extends the duration of buffs on all allies here, but like I said, hopefully you guys can use this to your success. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to. The other 5 champions do have to make sense outside of the initial resistance target, so don't just build this, throw in any 5 champions and say murder, why isn't this working? The rest of the team has to make sense. There's no single champion content once again, but cannot stress this enough. This has been a lifesaver for me. I think it could have some potential in Nightmare as far as meta teams going forward. You never know. It's really early and it's way too early to call a situation like that alone. So as always, guys, give me your feedback. Comment below what you guys think. And if you enjoy this content, smash that like button, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss my next upload. And I will see you all in the next video.